Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today's topic of discussion will be the subject of hydraulics and hydraulic machines, and in that we will be starting off with the first chapter of viscous flow. Let me first give you an overview on how we will be providing you the videos. We will discuss the previous year question papers of AS2 as per the new syllabus and also the Polytechnic question papers in a systematic manner. In this part we will be discussing the flow of viscous fluid through a circular pipe. So let us begin. As the topic is viscous flow, first let us understand when the flow becomes viscous. Viscous flow is also known as laminar or streamline flow. Okay, so first let us understand when a flow becomes laminar, right? We know that it is given to us by the Reynolds number, which determines whether the flow is laminar, transitional or turbulent. So what is Reynolds number? We know it is ratio of the inertia forces to the viscous forces, and the formula is given by rho u d upon mu, where rho is the density of the fluid, u is the velocity, and d is the diameter of pipe, and mu is the dynamic viscosity. Now if the Reynolds number is less than 2000, right, we know that the flow will be laminar. If the Reynolds number lies between 2000 to 4000, we know that the flow will be in transition, and if the Reynolds number is greater than 4000, we know that the flow will be turbulent flow. First let us try to derive the shear stress distribution. For that, we will first consider a circular pipe. This is a circular pipe. This is the center line of the pipe. Okay, let us consider the radius of the pipe to be as capital R. Okay, and since it is a circular pipe, the cross section will be what? Cross section to ki hoga? Circular hoga, right? This is the cross section. And let us consider a fluid element. We will consider one fluid element. Fluid element ki hoy? Of the entire fluid, we will take a small, very small portion of the fluid. ठीक है sir? Let us consider the fluid element to be of A, B, C, D, which is at a distance of small r from the center of the pipe, right? So this will be my fluid element, which is having a radius of small r, and let the thickness of the fluid element be dr. A thickness to kiman lolo? This thickness I have taken as dr. ठीक है sir? So we have considered this circular pipe and the element A, B, C, D. Okay, so let a fluid be flowing through it from left to right. Let the fluid have a density of rho that we have assumed and having a viscosity of mu. Okay, so before starting the derivation, there are certain assumptions that we have to keep in mind. So let us discuss the assumptions first. Okay, the first assumption is that the flow is steady. The flow is steady. Now what do you mean by the term steady? Steady means the fluid properties will be constant with respect to time. Okay, that is the velocity, which is denoted by u, will be constant, right? Now if the velocity is constant, we know that acceleration will be what? Since acceleration is rate of change of velocity, that is, since it is constant, we know that rate of change of constant is 0, which implies that acceleration of the fluid will be what? 0, right? Okay, so the net force acting on the fluid will be what? Should be mass into acceleration, right? And since the acceleration is 0 because it is a steady flow, hence the net force acting will be what? 0. So we have to keep this in mind while deriving. And the second assumption is that the pressure gradient is constant. Now what do you mean by pressure gradient? Pressure is denoted as P, and when it is upon length we call it as pressure gradient, right? And what does it mean that the pressure gradient is constant? That means the change in pressure per unit length of the pipe will be constant throughout the pipe. Okay, this will come in handy when we will be deriving the shear stress distribution. Just keep in mind that the pressure gradient is constant. Okay, so let us now again draw the circular pipe and see what are the forces acting on the pipe. This is my circular pipe. Okay, this was the center line of the pipe. Okay, this was the element that I had considered, which was A, B, C and D. Okay, so now let's see what are the forces acting, right? This AD, the pressure forces will be acting with a pressure intensity of P. P is the pressure intensity, and we know the unit of pressure intensity is Newton per meter square. Okay, on the face AD, P pressure will be acting, and let the fluid element have a length of delta x. Okay, now on this face what will be the pressure acting? Since here it is P, we know that the pressure will increase along the flow, right? So on this face, that is BC, P will be there and some additional pressure will be there. What will be the additional pressure? Since we know that the pressure gradient is constant, or also we can write it as del P upon del X. Del P upon del X is constant throughout the pipe, right? Now what will be the increase for a length of delta X? For a length of delta X, we have to multiply it by del P upon del X into delta X. This will give us the increase in pressure for how much length? Delta X length. Okay, this is the unit increase, and when we multiply it with delta X, we'll get the increase for the length of delta X, right? So what will be the pressure on the face BC? It will be P plus del P upon del X into delta X. So two pressure forces will be acting, one on the side AD and one on the side BC, and shear stress will be acting on the sides what? AB and BC, right? Tau. Okay, so let us first write it down. First, pressure force will be acting. Okay, so first pressure force is P into P is the pressure intensity. When we convert pressure intensity to pressure, we have to multiply it with the area, and for a circular pipe, and we have considered it an element having a radius of how much? Small r, and it is circular. what will be the area? Pi small r square, right? So what will be the pressure force? P into pi r square, which is acting on the face AD, okay? And the second pressure force will be P plus del P by del X into delta X whole into the same cross sectional area, that is pi r square on which face? On face PC, okay? Now the shear force. The shear force is acting along, the force is acting along AB and CD, right? So let us see this. Okay, this was the pipe, this is my element, right? This is the center line of the pipe, and this was the cross sectional view, right? And we had considered the fluid element here. The fluid element had what? A thickness of small dr and having a radius of small r. Now if we, since for calculating shear force we need to multiply it with the area, right? This area, this is not the cross sectional area, we have to take cross sectional area from here. The fluid element, say this is a circular area, right? If we cut it at here, we can stretch it like a line in this manner. What will be the circumference of radius r? We know that of radius r, what will be its circumference? Circumference will be twice pi r. So this length will be the total circumference, and what will be the thickness? The thickness will be small dr. So what is the area? It is twice pi r dr, right? So what will be the shear force? Shear force will be, now see, tau is the shear stress, okay, which will have a unit of Newton per meter square. Okay, now we have to convert it to shear force. Then we have to multiply it with the area, that is tau into what will be the area? That is twice pi r dr. This area for how much length? This area for delta x length, right? Whatever we have calculated, twice pi r dr is for this portion length, only one part, but we have to consider it for the whole part, because the shear force, it will be acting along the whole length of delta x. So what will be the area? Twice pi r dr for a length of delta x. So this will be the shear force. Okay, this is our pipe. Okay, let us now see the direction of the forces which are acting. This is the center line, my element. Okay, A, B, C, D, right? P force was acting in this direction, another P was acting in this direction, P plus del P by del X for a length of delta X, and shear stress is acting in this direction, right? Because the flow is in this direction, the shear stress will be the opposing force, hence it will be acting in the opposite direction. Okay, so let us consider the direction forces. Let us consider left to right as positive and vice versa. Okay, so now since the flow is steady, which we had assumed, hence we know what the net force acting on the body will be, or the fluid will be 0. So let us take the net force. This force is acting from left to right, so P into pi r square. Negative, this force is acting from right to left, so P plus del P by del X to delta X into pi r square. Again, shear stress is also acting from right to left, so it will be negative tau into twice pi r dr into delta X. so it will be what? 0. Okay, so now let us break this bracket. What will be it? It will be p into pi r square, p into pi r square minus del p by del x into delta x into pi r square. Let us bring this to the right hand side, so it will be positive twice pi r dr into delta x plus pi r square. Negative pi r square will get cancelled out, okay, and delta x here and delta x on this side will get cancelled out. Pi here will get cancelled out. R here and 1 r here will cancel out. So what will we get? That is del p by del x r. Let us bring this 2 to the other side. R by 2 will be equals to what? Tau. So let us write it in a proper manner. That is tau will be equals to negative of del p upon del x into r by 2, which is the shear stress distribution. Very, very important in respect for derivation. This derivation comes in your ASTO examination, and also in various MCQ questions you will be getting direct questions from this relationship. So try to remember this relationship. Okay, so what we got? That tau is equals to minus del p by del x into r by 2, right? Now let's see at r equals to 0, what will be the shear stress? At r equals to 0, we know that it is the center of the pipe. Let us put it here. That is del p by del x into 0. So tau will be equals to what? 0. Okay, and at r equals to capital R, that is where? At the wall or the boundary of the pipe. What will be the shear stress value? Del p by del x into r by 2. This will be the tau max value, because tau is depending upon what? R. And see, the relationship is what? Relationship of tau is linear. This relationship is a linear relationship, right? So let us try to draw the shear stress distribution. At the center, what we got? The shear stress is 0. So at the center of the pipe, the shear stress is 0, and at the pipe wall, the shear stress will be having a maximum value, that is tau max, right? And since it is a linear, we can draw it by straight line. Similarly on this side, right? That is, the shear stress will increase from the center up to the boundary of the pipe. Okay, this diagram is also directly asked in the MCQ questions. So thanks a lot for watching the video. In the next video I will be discussing the velocity distribution, and with it I will be solving some previous year numericals which have come in the ASTO paper. You can also watch the video on concrete mix design by clicking on the thumbnail on your right. So do subscribe to our channel, and thank you.